This is Jack. This is Joel. These two brothers were two early OGs in my coaching program, and before they joined, they had actually already started a high-ticket dropshipping store in another program. If you're not familiar with high-ticket dropshipping is, it is essentially a process where we partner with name brands in the US, and we become online authorized retailers of their products. So how it would work is, on your store, you have all the products for sale that are from your brands that you're partnered with, and if I place an order through you, you will send my information to the brand, and the brand will ship the item from their warehouse directly to me without you ever needing to see or touch the product. So they had already started a high-ticket dropshipping store when they entered my program. The issue was the program they were in before had kept recommending them to continue with this really awful niche. And I knew right away when they told me their margins, I just said, like, guys, like, this isn't gonna work. You should start a brand new store from scratch. And that's exactly what they did. And in literally just their first 7 months, they built it to over $1 million, which is absolutely insane. So when they first got in the program, they hopped on a call with me and they kind of told me where they were at. And I could tell right away, they were having bad margins. They were getting like 10 to 15% after cost of goods sold and shipping, which is way too low. Their suppliers were really hard to work with. So after we had that call, they dove into the course content for the next few days. They went through the how to pick a profitable niche modules that I have. So when we're picking a niche, there's 4 main things we want to have. We want to have a whole bunch of products in the niche that cost over $2,000. We want there to at least one product with over 20,000 searches per month. Then we also don't want all of the products to be seasonal. So if a couple of the 10 products are seasonal, but the other 8 are pretty steady, that's not a big deal. And we also want to find niches with low competition. So a low amount of stores currently selling in the niche. So I tell all my students to go through that process to think of different ideas that meet these criteria. And then they booked their niche selection call with me and figure out where the best opportunity was based on the ideas that they had come up with. The next step after we decided on a niche was we needed to find all the top suppliers in that niche. And the main 5 criteria of a high-end, high-ticket dropshipping supplier is as follows. So number 1, we want there to be over 500 searches per month for that brand. Step number 2 is we want to find competitor stores in the space that are having success already. Then we want to go on those stores and find their winning products and winning suppliers. You can use a tool like Shop Hunter, which will tell you how stores in your space are doing. Then we also want there to be 3 other criteria. Number 1 is MAP. MAP stands for minimum advertised price. If there's a brand and there's 10 stores selling that brand's products, all the stores have to list at the same price. So you can't undercut each other, which would dwindle the profit down to nothing. You have to compete on factors like how good your ads are, how good your website looks, how responsive your customer service team is. And these are all the makings of an actual business. So no one's just going to undercut you, and the person who has the best optimized ads and website will win the sale, which is exactly what I help people do. Number 4, we want there to be minimal competition. So what you do is if you find a brand name, for example, Clearlight Sauna, you want to see how many people are currently selling that brand's products. If it's under 15, that's very low competition. If it's 15 to 30, it's okay, it's moderate. The higher you get above 30, the more and more competitive it's going to get. So we want to find brands that have a lack of competition, but I've still done very well with competitive brands just by having a really optimized website and really optimized ad setup. And lastly is good margins. So what we want to hit is usually 25% margins after cost of goods sold and after shipping. If it's 20, that's okay, but anything below 20, you definitely don't want to run any ads to because your ads will literally eat up your whole margin. If you can get above 35% landed after all costs, then that's amazing. Those should really be your bread and butter brands. So Jack and Joel did the supplier research. They found as many suppliers as they possibly could. They found hundreds of suppliers in their niche. I looked it over and I gave it the approval. The next thing they had to do was build a website. Do not overthink your website and spend weeks or months on it. You can put together a nice website in a couple of days that has everything you'll need to get going. So once they had their website, the next step was to actually reach out and close suppliers. They contacted like 300 suppliers in 4 to 6 weeks, and they closed a whole bunch, and that was literally the main driver of their success. The next step was to run advertising campaigns. And in their previous program, they did what is called a 2-tiered waterfall structure. There's people searching for grills, there's people searching for a brand name grill, so Napoleon grill, and then there's people at the bottom searching for Napoleon 32-inch grill in black. So most coaching programs only do the first 2. This bottom group here, they have very high buying intent. And when we're starting, we want to target all our ads to those people. And that's exactly what Jack and Joel did. Obviously, these guys had struggled with their store before. They had lost some money on it. So when I was recommending them get into ads, it was their credit card on file. I was a little bit nervous, but literally within a couple of days, my nerves were put at ease when they hit $14,000 in sales on 8 orders in a single day. And during this period, I was actually moving to Dubai. So I had to take like a week or 2 off to get moved, settled, everything like that. But when I got back, everything was still extremely smooth sailing, and they had actually just hit $20,000 in a single day. But then they got one of the worst emails you could possibly get. Shopify literally completely closed their store down. We still aren't sure why it happened, but luckily in the next 24 to 36 hours, they got Shopify on the phone and their website was put back up, and they ended up finishing that month very strong, $54,000 in sales.
If you're looking to make money online, this is the most low risk, highest return and quickest return business model that you can have. Of course, you can go along the agency route, you can go along the route of copywriting, there's a number of other things that you can do, which are all good options, but those involve the skills of those particular positions. With high ticket ecom, you can basically come in with a minimal amount of have actual skills and you can progress pretty quickly.
And at that point, they had already crossed over $50,000 in sales the first 9 days of February. And at this point, everything was really starting to click for them.
Start off in January, as you said, we did 80K in January, climbed up to 200K in February, and then we were able to get to 289K last month.
And in June, they officially crossed over $1 million in sales. And guys, if you want to work directly with me and my team and build your first ever high-ticket e-commerce store, I'll put the link below. You can apply and book a call. And I also put together a completely free 2-hour-long masterclass that you can also join. I hope you took value from the video today, and pleasure, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace.